This morning, coming to you from Houston, Texas this morning.
Very warm morning to you.
You are looking so attractive, gorgeous in black.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Regina, before we start your session, I would like to give a brief description about you. Later, you can occupy the stage.
Say that again.
So, before you start your presentation, I would like to give you a brief description about you.
Okay, wonderful.
We will introduce your bio now. So after that, you can just go ahead and
Then I
all
start
the stage
talking.
is all yours. Thank
Okay, thank you, ladies. I appreciate it so much.
you. Thank you.
So, welcome Regina on the stage. She is here. So, Regina Patrick Vachman, an international best-selling author and CEO of Bridgeport Strategy, is a profit acceleration and exit strategy specialist. Through her podcast and LinkedIn Live collaboration conversations, she aids in transforming businesses, local economies, and the lives of entrepreneurs, emphasizing the creation of a positive generational impact. Regina's program, Go Beyond Six Figures, focuses on helping business owners achieve six-figure net profits. Having faced challenges in her own business during the 2008 and 2009 economic downturn, she is passionate about providing small business owners with the necessary assistance and resources for success and growth. Alongside her professional endeavors, as showcased in her book Bulletproof Your Marriage, she is devoted to supporting families. Her goal is to reduce stress for entrepreneurs, leading to more harmonious homes and positive generational influence, encapsulated by her motto, Save a Business, Save a Marriage. That's wonderful. Thank
Wow.
you so much. So you can occupy the stage, Regina.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So it was my responsibility to transcribe the meetings from the monthly board meetings as the assistant manager of the credit union that I worked at back in 1980. And frequently I attended these meetings, but for some reason I was not at this particular meeting where they were discussing the potential replacement for our manager who was retiring. As I listened to the recording of the board meeting, you can imagine my disappointment and frustration when I heard one of the board members say, Regina would make a great manager if she only weren't a woman. However, despite my disappointment, this became a catalyst for me, and I would not have achieved the successes that I have if I had stayed at that credit union. So I left the credit union shortly after that and became an independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And while with Mary Kay, I went on to become a senior sales director, assisting other women to develop their own businesses, their leadership, and community. Ultimately, I co-founded a successful regional staffing firm, then opened a bed and breakfast in my home on a beautiful lake setting in Texas, and finally created my current company, Bridgeport Strategy, where business owners and CEOs hire me to achieve unparalleled market distinction and profitability through tailored profit acceleration strategies, ensuring that their businesses thrive without them and allowing them to earn more while working less. Now imagine for a moment, if you will, a world where your gender is no longer a barrier to your success, but a catalyst. A world where women are not just participants, but leaders, shaping the future with their unique strengths and perspectives. This is not just a dream, but a reality that we can and are creating together. How many of you have ever felt that your unique strengths as a woman were overlooked or undervalued in a professional setting? How did that experience shape your approach to leadership and collaboration? I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section on that. But what if we could create a world where our unique strengths are not only recognized, but celebrated, where collaboration leads to innovation, and where the next generation of women leaders is nurtured and inspired? What would that world look like to you? I recently had the opportunity of delivering a presentation to a group of passionate, vibrant, and promising young adults in Nigeria. One of the elements of that presentation, which I feel is appropriate for our conversation today, dealt with the role of sustainable relationships in our personal development. And I would add, our business development as well. Relationships will be a key factor in your leadership. Every relationship we form acts as a mirror, reflecting parts of ourselves that we might not always see. Through interactions, disagreements, and shared experiences, we learn more about our strengths, our weaknesses, our desires, and fears. These relationships challenge our perspectives, helping us grow and evolve. Think of a time when a friend's advice changed your viewpoint, or when a family member's support helped you overcome a challenge. Susan McPherson, founder and CEO of McPherson Strategies, said, quote, "Magic happens when you connect people. I credit much of my success to always making it a point to truly get to know people and help them whenever I can. It's become the backbone of our firm's success. Women founders in particular are often highly skilled at making connections that can help advance their businesses," end quote. As we think about the nitty-gritty of effective leadership, let's make sure that we're all on the same page regarding what a leader actually is. There are 1,000 definitions of leadership, and we want to ensure that we're all speaking the same language. Generally speaking, a leader is someone who motivates others to act toward achieving a common goal. A leader is able to rally people around a cause and move them to take action toward achieving a particular objective. A good leader inspires people to do something bigger than themselves, to work together to accomplish key objectives, to pool their strengths and resources to achieve great things. A good leader helps their team members become the absolute best version of themselves. Now, a leader is different than an organizer. An organizer gathers resources and deploys them in an effective manner. Yes, an organizer brings people together, but they don't inspire them to take big, bold action. Organizers are more about efficiency, while leaders are more about vision. So let's take a look at 7 high-level characteristics of a good leader. First is vision. An effective leader has a clear vision of where they want to go and how they're going to get there. They understand where they currently are, and they're crystal clear on what it's going to take for them to get to where they want to be. The leader must be able to communicate this vision clearly to her team. Muriel Strode, poet, said, quote, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail," end quote. Motivation. The effective leader is highly skilled at motivating people. They know what makes others tick, and they're able to tap into those emotional triggers. Through their words and their actions, they're able to motivate people to do things that they maybe wouldn't do otherwise. And then there's service. The best leaders are those who serve their followers. They seek to serve their team and make their team as effective as possible. They support their team members in whatever ways they can, rather than constantly focusing on their own agenda and what they want to accomplish. Mary D. Poole, an author, said, quote, "Leadership should be more participative than directive, more enabling than performing," end quote. Empathy. A leader must be able to place themselves in the shoes of the others. If you want to create consensus among your team, you must be able to understand the concerns of others and effectively respond to those concerns. Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, said, quote, "One of the criticisms I've faced over the years is that I'm not aggressive enough or assertive enough, or maybe somehow because I'm empathetic, it means I'm weak. I totally rebel against that. I refuse to believe that you cannot be both compassionate and strong," end quote. I totally agree with her. Creativity. The highly effective leader is creative when it comes to achieving their outcomes. They use their imagination to look beyond what's directly in front of them to see what's truly possible. They're able to see how they can effectively leverage the skills of their followers for the maximum good. A good leader is demanding. The best leaders demand the best from their teams and themselves. They don't settle for mediocre results or half-hearted efforts. Rather, they set an example of passionate work for their team, and they expect their team to follow their example. And finally, management. A leader must be able to manage those who follow her. She must be able to strategically guide her team through complex processes, effectively resolve challenges that they encounter, and marshal the resources of their team to be deployed for the most good. Now, none of these characteristics on their own make for a good leader. The best leaders possess a combination of some, if not all, of these characteristics. They're able to be both creative and demanding at the same time. They can manage effectively while also expressing empathy for their team members. They can provide vision while serving their followers at the same time. It's important to understand that leadership isn't about having a particular position, title, or personal attributes. Just because you're an executive doesn't mean you're a leader. Having the corner office doesn't mean you're good at leadership. Having a charismatic personality doesn't make you a leader. The good news is that leadership is not something you're born with. Rather, it's something you learn over time through practice, and you can become a better leader than you currently are. If you're not an effective leader now, you can grow and become an effective leader. You can learn the skills and the techniques necessary to have social influence. By implementing these principles in your own life, you can become a powerful, passionate, inspirational, and influential leader. You can help others become the best version of themselves and achieve great things. You can lead them to accomplish your vision. So now that we're clear on what leadership is, let's take a look at how we empower the next generation to be influential leaders. Empowering the next generation of women leaders is intrinsically linked to that personal growth that occurs through sustainable relationships. You remember I mentioned sustainable relationships in the beginning. Let's take a look at how these two concepts intertwine and amplify our capacity for influential leadership. The first is a foundation of trust. Sustainable relationships are built on trust, which fosters open communication, mutual respect, and collaboration. When leaders cultivate trust, they create an environment where team members feel valued, leading to increased productivity and innovation. Women often prioritize ethics and integrity in their leadership, ensuring that decisions are made with fairness and transparency. Next is emotional intelligence and growth. Personal growth often stems from understanding oneself and others. Sustainable relationships require emotional intelligence, which involves recognizing, understanding, and managing our emotions and the emotions of others. Leaders with high emotional intelligence can navigate complex interpersonal dynamics, making them more effective and influential. Many women have a heightened sense of empathy and understanding, allowing them to connect with team members on a personal level. This emotional acuity can lead to better team cohesion and understanding of individual needs. Then there's feedback and continuous learning. Sustainable relationships involve giving and receiving feedback. Constructive feedback is crucial for personal and professional growth. Leaders who embrace feedback are more adaptable and better equipped to navigate the ever-changing business landscape. Women often excel in both verbal and nonverbal communication, ensuring that team members are aligned, informed, and feel valued. Diverse perspectives. Building relationships with a diverse group of individuals exposes leaders to different perspectives and ideas. And this diversity of thought fosters creativity, innovation, and problem solving, essential traits for, essential traits for influential leadership. Resilience and adaptability. Relationships, like leadership journeys, have their ups and downs. Navigating the challenges of relationships builds resilience and adaptability, qualities that are invaluable for leaders facing business challenges. Facing various challenges throughout their careers, many women develop a strong sense of resilience. And this ability to bounce back from setbacks and adapt to changing circumstances is invaluable in leadership roles. Let me share a brief story with you to illustrate how we need to have that resilience and adaptability. When after I wrote my first book, Bulletproof Your Marriage, my husband and I decided to take the principles in that book and create a couples retreat. And at the time, I owned my bed and breakfast on Lake Bridgeport, and we had two guest rooms overlooking the lake. So we would bring out two couples at a time for the beta version of our retreat, our couples retreat. And we put them through a series of exercises and activities, took them out on the lake, things of that nature while they were there, fed them, took care of their every need. The results were phenomenal. One couple who had been in couples counseling for a couple of years, I believe, said that they got more out of that 2-day weekend than they had gotten out of the 2 years of counseling. So we thought, great, we're ready to take this on the road. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's share this with so many more people. So I found venues, I booked the venues, I scheduled these retreats, began inviting people. And have you ever done something like that and gotten crickets when you started marketing something? Well, we had crickets. We didn't get people. And part of the audience we were targeting were businessmen. Uh, and we found that they didn't want to come to a couples retreat. So, as was told to you in my introduction, I'm very passionate about families, thus my book, Bulletproof Your Marriage. And so, when I found that I couldn't get these men to come to the couples retreat, I said, okay, if I can't get you in the front door, let's go in the back door. So, because I was targeting businessmen at that time, it was easier then to go to them with business coaching as opposed to the Bulletproof Your Marriage retreat. And so my motto became save a business, save a marriage, because as you know, there's a lot of stress in running a business, and that stress impacts the home life. So if we can make it easier on that business owner to be more successful, then we impact the home life positively. So that's just an example of being resilient and adaptable. Things don't always go our way, and we need to be able to shift gears. The next is shared growth. Sustainable relationships are not one-sided. They involve mutual growth. Leaders who invest in the growth of their team members, their peers, and themselves create a culture of continuous learning and development, amplifying the collective leadership potential. Networking opportunities. Personal growth through relationship often leads to networking opportunities. Networking can open doors to new business ventures, collaborations, and leadership roles, further enhancing your influence in your respective fields. Women often prioritize collaboration and teamwork, fostering an inclusive environment where all voices are heard. This approach can lead to more comprehensive solutions and a united team. Throughout my career, I've learned the power of collaboration. A colleague in England and I created a LinkedIn live show called Collaboration Conversations. And although she's no longer a part of the show, her influence still is. I bring together diverse minds for unscripted conversations about collaboration. We learn from each other, we challenge each other, and we grow together. This experience underscores the value of collaboration and the incredible things that we can achieve when we work together. All right, we've got a couple more here. Shared vision and goals. Sustainable relationships often involve aligning visions and goals. Leaders who can, leaders who can align their team's vision and work towards shared goals create a cohesive and motivated team driving them towards success. And then it's so important that we have empathy and understanding. At the heart of sustainable relationships lies empathy. Leaders who can empathize with their team members, stakeholders, and clients can make more informed and compassionate decisions, increasing their influence and their impact. Legacy and mentorship. Last one, ladies. Personal growth doesn't end with individual achievements. Leaders who prioritize sustainable relationships often become mentors, passing on their knowledge and experiences to the next generation. This mentorship ensures that their legacy of influential leadership continues. Personal growth through sustainable relationships is a cornerstone of influential leadership. By nurturing these relationships, leaders not only enhance their leadership capabilities, but they also create that ripple effect, empowering others to become influential leaders in their own right. I want to talk briefly about a few areas of principles for highly effective leadership. And the first one is being that self motivated leader. First and foremost, a leader is self motivated. Unlike followers who must be told what to do, a leader is someone who's highly driven and motivated. A leader's out in front of the crowd. They're moving forward on their own initiative. They're taking action without being told to do so. A leader must be able to drive things forward without the approval or permission of others. They must have an innate desire to make change happen, even when they can't see exactly how it's going to happen. A leader isn't primarily motivated by salary or social perks. They have a fire within them, a powerful desire to make good change happen. Daniel Goleman puts it this way, quote, "Plenty of people are motivated by external factors such as a big salary or the status that comes from having an impressive title or being part of a prestigious company. By contrast, those with leadership potential are motivated by a deeply embedded desire to achieve for the sake of achievement," end quote. So how can you grow in self-motivation? The primary way is by choosing a goal or a set of goals that resonates with you deeply and stirs you up to want to accomplish great things. Think about your own life and career. What sorts of things do you really, truly want to accomplish? What goals set you on fire and make you want to take massive action? What objectives would you be willing to sacrifice for? It's these kinds of things that create motivation. Focus your attention on them, write them down, rehearse them again and again. The more you're focused on your big, audacious goals, the more you'll be motivated to want to achieve them. Assuming your goals involve more than just yourself, you'll also be motivated to get others on board with your goals. And then lead with integrity. This means always being consistent with your values. It means saying what you'll do and doing what you'll say. It means you have strong moral values and that you hold fast to those moral values in every situation. If you don't have integrity, your followers will quickly abandon you. They'll see that what you say is different from what you do, that you don't have any particular morals guiding your actions, that the ends always justify the means. Stephen Covey said, quote, "Moral authority comes from following universal and timeless principles like honesty, integrity, and treating people with respect," end quote. Do you want to have a sense of authority with those on your team? Do you want them to respect you? Do you want them to do what you ask without grumbling and arguing? Then be a person of integrity. There will be times when you're faced with ethical dilemmas. And in those moments, you have two options. You can act with integrity and gain the respect of those under you, or you can act without integrity and lose the trust of your followers. Without integrity, those under you simply won't trust you. They won't have confidence that you'll do what you say. They won't be confident that you have their best interest in mind. Rather, they'll worry that you're asking them to do something for selfish personal reasons rather than their good and the good of the company. And lastly, be humble. Be a humble leader. Many people think that leaders must be proud, brash, and always right. In fact, the opposite is true. The best leaders are humble. They listen and they're willing to admit when they're wrong. Humility is one of the keys to great leadership. A proud leader is in danger of blind spots. They're convinced that they're always right. They're sure their way is the best way. They feel like they don't listen to the opinions of others. And this is a recipe for disaster. A humble leader, on the other hand, is set up for success. So what does humble leadership look like? Listening. The humble leader listens to the opinions and feedback of others. They don't assume that their ideas are always the best. They ask for feedback. They ask those around them for constructive feedback. They realize that they don't know everything and they need valuable advice of others. And they're willing to admit their wrongs. We all make mistakes. The best, most humble leaders admit when they've made mistakes. This creates an environment where others feel like they too can admit their mistakes. And the truly humble leader is respectful of others. They value the insights and opinions of others, and they do everything they can to respect what others bring to the table. St. Augustine said, quote, "Do you wish to rise? Begin by descending. You plan a tower that will pierce the clouds? Lay first the foundation of humility," end quote. Humility is a fundamental to success as a leader. Leaders who are humble thrive, while leaders who are proud ultimately falter. John C. Maxwell said, quote, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way," end quote. This is the essence of leadership. A leader has a vision and can see the way to go. They're self-motivated, self-disciplined, passionate, and courageous enough to do the hard work necessary to make their vision a reality. And a leader constantly communicates their vision to others, showing them the way to go. Now, we've covered a lot of ground here today in this short period of time. The good news is that you can grow in all of these areas. You can become an effective leader. The more you focus on growing in these areas, the better you'll become as a leader, and the more people will want to follow you. As more people follow you, you'll have more opportunities to grow as a leader and to help those around you become good leaders as well. It's a powerful cycle that can cause you to grow by leaps and bounds. And one final thought: embrace your entrepreneurial spirit. This means being ready to face challenges, adapt, and persevere. When my husband passed away in 2014, I faced one of the biggest challenges of my life, but I found the strength to carry on. I continued running our bed and breakfast, pursued our dream of buying the house next door and turning it into a lake house rental and event center. I also trained to become a business coach. These experiences taught me that even in the face of adversity, we can find new paths and new opportunities. So I urge you all to embrace your entrepreneurial spirit, harness your unique strengths, become influential leaders, and inspire the next generation. We began with a vision of a world where women are not just participants, but leaders, where our unique strengths are not barriers, but catalysts for success. Today, we've explored the power of collaboration, the resilience of the entrepreneurial spirit, and the incredible potential that lies within each of us. As we leave here today, let's not just imagine that world, but let's actively create it. Let's collaborate, innovate, and lead the way for the next generation of women leaders. Together, we can break down barriers, build bridges, and shape a future where women's leadership is not just a possibility, but a reality. So don't wait any longer. Start leading today. Others are waiting to follow you. Let's make our vision of empowering the next generation of women to become influential leaders a true reality. Thank you. And thank you all for your wonderful comments. Uh, I was able to watch the chat as we went by. I I do have something I'd like to share with you very quickly. I do have a book, an ebook out. If anybody would like to get more on this topic, then I can share that a QR code or a link to get that. Just don't remember how to do that. How to get that up here. So, ladies, you'll have to help with
Great.
that.
Thank you, Regina. That was a wonderful speech. We enjoyed your presentation this morning. Your delivery was so engaging. We thoroughly enjoyed all over. By any measure, you are a very effective speaker, no doubt about it. And can you please, give your QR code so that our audience will be able to get that. You can leave that in the
Yes.
chat. So that will be helpful for us. All the audience will be
Okay.
reaching out to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Regina. So, okay, you can leave your
Yeah,
QR code.
I'm not sure how to put it there, ladies.
Okay, you can do one thing. You
Um,
can send it to us on
Okay.
contact this thing. So you can, we
Okay.
will do that for you. And
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
do you have any questions for Regina?
Yes, I do have a question from audience Regina. So thank you so much, Regina, for the battery of good leadership skills. So here is a question from our audience. So how is decision making important in good leadership?
Oh, I would say it is the crux of good leadership. If we need to be able to make um, wise, balanced decisions. So we need to be able to gather information. We also need to be able to make decisions quickly when the situation demands it. When the situation requires a quick decision, we need to trust our instincts and our knowledge and our skills and make a decision on the spot. But sometimes decisions require more in-depth research and study before you make that decision.
I think yes, audience got the answer. Thank you so much, Regina, for joining this event and sharing your valuable information with Will. So, looking forward to hear more sessions from you for our future conferences as well.
I would love that.
We would love to work with you, Regina. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye. Thank you so much, and bye. So, let's join our next session. Please join our next session.
Thank you. We'll see you around in the next
So,
session.
Anjali is waiting.